Record on this computer. Okay. So that's working. I'm just trying to make all this wiggle around and so I can see it properly. Hi everybody. It's absolutely fantastic to see lots of you on here tonight. So a warm welcome. The chat box is open. Arthur, where's Harvey skiving? Does Harvey skive? Harvey, bless him, has driven 4 hours to Newcastle. He's actually live right now on Facebook at Newcastle with Gavin Scott. So that's where he is, bless him. Working very hard out there with Michael and causing some mischief at the Newcastle Opportunity Meeting with Gavin. Apparently they're going out clubbing. I don't think that will happen somehow, but they're having fun. That's where they are. Warm welcome to everybody. If there's anyone on here that I haven't met yet, I just wanted to come on quickly and just say hi and let you know who I was, because you probably see lots of posts and things that I put up. Harvey and I got started in the business 11 years ago. It was something that was only ever going to be a bit of a stopgap for me. Has anyone else joined just as a little bit of a stopgap or a way of maybe making a couple of £100 a month? Did anyone else join for that? You can all chat to me in the chat box. It's open. I literally joined to make an extra £300 a month. Definitely. And the reason I did that was because I had 2 kids and my son Thomas had just started school and my daughter Natasha was just 6 months old and she's got special needs. It meant that we were in and out of hospital. It meant that I definitely didn't want to leave her with a childminder, and I could never in a million years have held down a part-time or a full-time job because our hospital appointments were so erratic, and sometimes I could have 3 or 4 a week. So it was absolutely crazy, but I still needed some extra money because I still needed to be able to pay the bills and things that were coming in. So Clean Easy for me back then, 11 years ago, was just a way of earning an extra £300 a month. Now I did that in my first couple of months, just very quickly started to see that level of money coming in, and that was by delivering and collecting 200 catalogues twice a week. That's all I did. I went out twice a week and letterboxed 400 catalogues, 200 twice a week. And that's what brought me in. I was doing about £1,000 worth of orders over the 4 weeks, and that was bringing me in around £260 to £300 a month. I then started to get along to some training events, and I used to go to one not far from me in Long Eaton where we actually run our training event now. And I started to find out a little bit more about what this business entailed. I went along to some of the company events and I started to see people just like me that were making thousands a month. And I kind of wanted to know, well, how was that happening? And what I discovered was that they were accessing some personal development, they were learning and growing, and they were team building. And that's really what we're going to sort of touch on a bit tonight, how what they were doing and how they were doing that. So I started to see a much bigger picture, and I started to learn how to do that as well, because I didn't know how to do that. So if you're new and thinking, I like the idea of team building, but how on earth do we start that? We're going to show you how, and we're here to take you every step of the way through that. I didn't have a clue, but I very quickly learned, because there's lots of help and support out there. Fast forward a few years, I met Harvey through Clean Easy. I bought him out the catalogue. He was on page 47, and keep an eye on that page. There's some good offers. I bought Harvey from there. Harvey came with 2 children as well, so I have 2 stepdaughters, Lily and Rebecca. Buy one get one free. I honestly don't think I could handle 2 of Harvey. My goodness, 1 is quite enough. So I inherited Harvey and 2 gorgeous stepdaughters. So there's 4 kids. They are now 16, 15, 15 and almost 12. So the last 11 years have gone really quickly. Clean Easy now earns us between £3,000 to £4,000 every month. So that 300 quid's grown quite a lot. And we've been all over the world. We've been on 8 free 5-star holidays with Clean Easy. Now that isn't to show off. It isn't to say, look at us, look at us. It's to inspire you and to show you that anyone, if a mum can do that, around 4 kids, you know, a mum, and Harvey was worked for DHL. If 2 ordinary, and I say ordinary in italics because you guys know us, we're ordinary in the nicest sense of the word. If ordinary people like us can go on and earn that level of income and have that level of lifestyle than any of you can. Absolutely. And we're here to help and support you to do exactly the same. So enough about me. Let's bring up tonight's slides, and let's just get that up as well. So can everybody see the webinar slides okay? Just chat to me in the chat box there. Awesome. Thanks, Danielle. Excellent. Okay, so what am I going to show you tonight? Now, hopefully we'll have a peaceful night. Now, as you know, Harvey isn't here, so I'm really hopeful that I'm going to have no technical problems. So that's going to be fun. And I have Natasha here. Tom's away, and Natasha is on strict instructions not to come down unless she is on fire or the house is burning down. But you all know and love my daughter, so the possibility of her knocking on that door and poking her head in is quite high. So you may get to meet her tonight as well. She's currently reading upstairs. So let's get started and see if I can make this work. So firstly, I wanted to say a warm welcome to all of our new team members that have joined the Shooting Stars team in just the last 4 weeks. So if you're on here tonight and your name is on that list, then say hello in the chat box so we can say hello to all of you as well. 21 new people thought our business was a damn good idea, would like to make some extra money, and are up for getting stuck in and doing what it takes. So welcome, an absolutely huge warm welcome to all of you. And we're really excited to be showing you what's available. So who's responsible for bringing in all those fabulous people? Well, let me show you who our team builders are. And here we go, our top sponsor for period 7 was the very, very fabulous Angie Brown. Is Angie on? Of course she is. I know Angie will be on here. Angie, say hi in the chat box to everybody. For those of you that are new, by the way, that are on their first webinar, you should be able to see some little videos of us all. You can see me, you can see the little videos there down. Well, mine's on the right hand side, yours might be at the top or bottom. There's a little arrow at the bottom. You can only see 4 people at a time. You can flick through that arrow and have a wave at everybody on there. So if you flick through, you'll be able to see the lovely Angie. Hi Angie, give us a wave. There she is there. So absolutely fabulous. So well done to Angie, but also a massive well done to everybody else. Monica and Martin, you're going to hear from Monica in just a few short moments. Dimpner and Andy are on here. Hi guys. Jay is on here. Trudy, are you on tonight, my lovely? I've not flicked through everybody on here yet. I know Judy's on. Judith's on as well. Campana, Kirsty. Nemo, well done. Absolutely fantastic. New in the team. So it's brilliant to see so many people sponsoring. Keep it up, guys. Absolutely fantastic. And just look at the orders that went through last period. Now, for those of you that are new, these are personal sales. These are not team sales. These are what that individual distributorship has personally ordered in just the last 4 weeks. Look at that. Sue Dickerson, £5,011 worth of orders. So people who say no one's ordering, I beg to differ. We had over £35,000 worth of orders that went through, and that was with all the warehouse challenges that we had last month with the company moving premises. So a massive, massive well done to all of you. Those orders are absolutely stunning. And I can't wait to see what this period brings, because there's already over £5,000 on the door already in just the last few days. So I think it's going to be an absolutely incredible period. And remember that everything you are doing right now to build your customer base, whether that's with catalogs, whether that's online, or hopefully doing both, because both absolutely work, when those Christmas catalogs hit the letterbox at the end of August, you are going to absolutely reap the rewards of all the work you're doing now. So a massive well done to everybody. Absolutely fantastic. Now, as well as the profit that you make from all of your personal sales, you can also get an extra cash bonus depending on how much you do in volume. Now, some people choose to do lots of volume themselves, and you absolutely can. We've got some fantastic retailers in our team. Harvey and I have done as much as £7,000 in personal sales before in just 4 weeks, and I know we have some fantastic retailers. But you can also do that by team building. So the people that you're going to see on here are a mixture of both. So all of these people on the screen right here, Judith, Kalpana, Trudy, Tiffany, Angie and Janice, created enough orders themselves and with their team to earn an extra cash bonus from Clean Easy. So they achieved what we call the 10% distributor level. So on top of their catalogue sales, where they would have earned between 15 and 21%, depending on which product range they were selling, they also got an extra cash bonus of between 3 and 6%, again, depending on what range they were selling, into their bank account. And the great news is that goes into the bank account on Thursday. Yay! Who's going to go shopping on Thursday? So well done to all of you who achieved that first step on the ladder. Now, moving up another step, you can earn even more cash bonus. So well done to Tina and Paul and to the lovely Jackie. Look at their team sales there. So on top of their profit, they got an extra 4 to 8% cash bonus, which is absolutely brilliant. Dimpner, shopping for ad pool leads, most certainly. Invest in your business and then buy a really nice pair of shoes. So well done, Tina and Paul and Jackie. We also had all of these distributorships qualify for a 15% distributor level, which got them an extra cash bonus of even more money. So Jay, well done. Dimpner and Andy, Mariella, absolutely fantastic. Monica and Marcin, now they are senior distributors, so they earn 15% profit on and the extra cash bonus on their own PSG, but as a team they also get paid an additional gold bonus, so it's well worth moving up that pay plan and getting that extra cash bonus. And then we have the fabulous Sue Dickerson and Kirsty and Michael. Sue achieving the 18% level, and Michael and Kirsty achieving that on their own sales, their PSG, but they're also senior distributors, so they get an additional bonus for being gold and above. So it's well worth moving up. So it's fantastic to see so many of you picking up cash bonuses. And then of course we have two of our newest, Emma Louise being our most newest gold distributor, also earning 21% on their own PSG, but also as gold distributors picking up that extra gold bonus. So well done, ladies. Myself and Harvey, we always have a gold PSG, £12,240. And as executives, we pick up a gold bonus and an executive bonus. So I highly recommend moving up through the sales plan, because do you know what? Clean Easy will pay you whatever you believe you are worth. There is no limit on what they will give you. Okay, so it's well worth pushing for. So well done to all of you. So our distributor of the period, for those of you that are new, Harvey and I recognise our distributor of the period, and we have a distributor of the year. Now we have little targets that you can pick up points for every month. Things like retailing £1,000, sponsoring, attending events, helping out at events, helping your team to qualify for free rewards and bonuses, and moving through the sales plan yourself. So whoever gets the most points each period qualifies for 50 free business leads from us. So 50 ad pool leads to help you grow your team even further. And all of those points get put into a yearly table, and our distributor who comes out with the overall most points at the end of the year gets taken away on a fabulous long weekend. Up to 6 people can enjoy one of these gorgeous lodges, and this one is in Devon, and this resort is beautiful. We've stayed there ourselves, so it's really, really lovely. So do you want to know who our distributor of the period was for period 7? Does anyone want to know? Anyone interested? So let me show you everybody who's got points on the door. So everyone that's got points right now, you can see on the screen. So well done. Now I am holding my hands up here and saying if there are any figures on here that are incorrect, then you need to speak to Harvey because that's his domain. I'm taking my hands away. Any complaints go to Harvey. Sorry, Harvey. He's in charge of the league table figures. I'm just showing you. But well done to everybody that's got scores on the doors. And our distributorship, our top distributors for period 7 are Dimpner and Andy Doherty for the second period running. Absolutely fantastic, guys. Lots of points there. They went to 3 events last period, a live event and 2 of the 10-step events as well. So absolutely fantastic. So well done to everybody, and a massive well done to our distributors of the period, Dimpner and Andy Doherty. Well done, guys. Fantastic. So let's put all of those figures into our year table to date. And here we go. So just in front there, very closely followed by Dimpner and Andy, holding first place, just is Michael and Kirsty. Now Michael's at Gavin's event, so he can't see this, but I know what he would be saying if he could. So keep hot on his heels, Dimpner, but very closely being followed by Emma and Stev, Monica and Marcin, Jay, Jude. It's all for the taking, guys. Absolutely all for the taking. We're halfway through the year now, and it's anybody's game. So absolutely. To be fair, Michael and Kirsty had a baby. Well, they can still, Michael was booked in for a couple of events. So, you know, there's lots of ways to get points. It isn't just the events, it's the webinars, it's the sponsoring. There's lots of ways to get events. So I'm sure Michael will be on it, getting his points. Bless him. So well done to each and every one of you. Absolutely fantastic. So just a couple of other things I wanted to mention from Clean Easy HQ. They have a fantastic offer on at the moment. Hopefully you have all seen that already. So you have up until close of business on next Monday to place an order of at least £150. Now I know all of you guys are going to absolutely do way more than that. And some of you have done that already. And you will actually get issued a free pack of brand new Clean Easy Autumn Winter catalogues. They're worth £29. So absolutely brilliant. Who's had an order go through already and qualified for their catalogues? They're going to be dispatched from next Tuesday. Well done, everyone. Look at that. Fantastic. Get those free catalogues and get those out to people. And just remember that for those of you that have been in the business more than your first 6 months, those of you that are 6 months further, that are on £250 order limits, which is what we're all on after 6 months, that has been reduced to £150 for the whole of July. Okay, so you don't need to drop ship your smaller orders. Get them through for £150 or more, and you get free postage and packaging. So just bear that in mind when you're putting your orders through. Who's drawing on my screen? Let me just wipe that off. Clear all drawings. Now I've learned how to do that. It's very handy. Excellent. Okay, and the last piece of news was who is going for their Beat Your Best. You will have all had an email with your targets on. Now, if you were in the business this time last year, you will have your own targets. Who was in the business this time last year? Share your targets with us on the chat. Our target is to do 5,500 BP in retail and to sponsor 11 people. That's our target that Clean Easy have set. If you're new, if you weren't in the business this time last year, then your target is to do £1,500 BP and sponsor 2. So, and if you do your retail and your sponsoring target, you get 100 free catalogues, 50 for each. Plus, if you complete both targets, you get a free ticket in the draw for a £5,000 holiday to Krakow. So who's up for that? And who's still drawing on my screen? Someone's got their mouse moving and it's scribbling over the screen. So who's up for the Beat Your Best? Anyone? 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 I am. Anyone else? Angie, fantastic target. You'll smash that, definitely. Brilliant. Yeah, it's a brilliant incentive. So it's running the whole of period 8 and the whole of period 9. And if you really crack on with that, it will make a huge, huge difference to you coming into the winter months. So do take massive advantage. So I'm now going to hand you over to a very fabulous distributor within our team who many of you will know. They've been with us for forever, but only really been building their business for the last couple of years. Monica's going to share some of her story with you, and she's going to share a fab book review, a book that's really been helping her out recently. So just give me one moment so I can come off and we can bring Monica on.
Am I on? Yes, hang on then, let me screen share with you. Oh, 1 minute. I did have it on, and now it's gone.
Technology, hey?
It's coming up now. Get back onto the Zoom. Oh, I've lost oh yeah, I'm back. Screen share. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see you.
Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is just a little bit about me first. This is my little family. I started Clean Easy 5 years ago. For the first 2.5 years, I was doing it around a full-time job. I was working at Argos, working 40 hours a week shift work. And even though I had a full-time income coming in, I still didn't have enough money at the end of the month for anything really, to save or anything. So I came across a little advert on the internet that said, would I be interested in making an extra income around, it won't affect any other job. So I thought I'll have a look. So Tracy rung me and I got signed up on the big 250 kit. And I did it around my full-time job, slowly built up a customer base. And then 2 years into the business, I found out I was pregnant with twins. As you can see, little George and Gio down there in the corner in the basket. And while I was on maternity, it made me realise that I didn't want to go back to work. I didn't want to have a boss. I wanted to do my own thing and run my business how I wanted to. And I knew that there was other people in the business making big money, and there was other people that had left full-time jobs to do it. So I thought, well, if they've done it, I can do it. So I had a word with Tracy and just let her know that I wanted to not return back to work after my maternity. I wanted to stay at home. And we made a plan. And within, at that time as well, I'd probably got 2 team members and I was at 10%. So we sat down together and made a plan. And within 3 months of making and following the plan, I'd hit gold. So what that meant is I'd replaced my income that I would have been making if I'd have gone back to work, which enabled me to not go back to work. So now I just do this full time. Well, I say full time, around the twins, what I can get done when they're not playing up. So I work it around them. I don't pay for any childcare. They come out and do my deliveries with me. and it just means lots more family time, and that's what my business is about. So I'm just going to run through with you a book review. It's called Questions Are the Answers. It's not a very big book. I'd read it in a couple of days, but I found it really, really helpful, and I thought it followed on nicely from the webinar last week when Louise had gone through the script and saying how simple it was to just run through the script and read it off word for word. So the script's great as well, especially if you're really brand new. You can just read it straight off, and you can sponsor people really easily from just reading the script. Questions Are the Answers is recommended in the script book and workbook for you to read, and I think it just builds up your confidence to build a better rapport with prospects that you're speaking to on the phone. So the more that you connect with the person that you're speaking to, the more chance that you've got of them wanting to join your team, because you've got some kind of connection. So I'm just going to talk you through a couple of things that I felt really helpful in the book. I'd highlighted them there. So when you're on the phone to somebody, you need to find out why they need your business. So here's the 5 solid gold questions. So what's their number one priority? Why did they pick that one? Why is it important to them? What are the consequences of not having that? And why would that worry you? So they're really good questions that you can ask your prospects for digging deeper and really finding out their reason for joining and what they want them either the money for. Here at the next, they'll either want an extra income, the financial freedom, have their own business, more spare time, personal development, helping others, meeting new people, retirement, or leave a legacy. So it's going to be one of them reasons of why they want to join. So you need to find out what their reason is so that you can connect with them and you can, well, sell the business as such to them on the reasons why they want it. Okay. So to make your presentation more powerful, these are some follow-on questions that it gave in the book as well. So it gets them to open up more, it builds a stronger relationship with them, and it helps them so you can help them to achieve what they want. So I just put here, meaning, for example, so then, therefore, then you, which means. So these are like follow-on questions. So let them do the talking, let them tell you why they need the business. So at the side there, I've just done a little example. So say, for example, they want to join because they need an extra income. So you could say, oh, so what does that mean? What would that mean to you? And they could say that they have more money to treat the family. So you could then say, oh, for example, I'll be able to treat them to days out and weekend breaks. Then you could say, so then that would mean, so they'd feel proud and happy that they can treat them and spend more quality time with the family, which would mean everyone will be happier and will have a better quality of life. So that's just a little example that I put together there just to show you how those questions can get them talking more and opening up, so you're really digging deeper. And the 3 biggest tips in the book that I found, and I know that Phil has also read the book recently as well, and he said that these were the tips that stood out. So speak to more people, speak to more people, and speak to more people. So the more people that you speak to, the more, it's just the numbers again. You're going to have the more people that you speak to, the more people are going to join your team. And even if you really, really know, just speak to more people. The more people that you speak to, the better you'll get. And little books like this that I'd read the other day really gave me a good confidence boost and just a little light bulb moment to think, yeah, I can ask those questions. And it just changed the whole structure of my phone call. So just speak to more people and practice. It's all about the numbers. So here's a few little things that I'd also highlighted as I was reading the book. So how long does it take you to talk to 10 people about the business? Your answer to the question will determine your growth rate. So it's completely up to you, but the quicker that you speak to more people, the faster and quicker your business is going to build. And this is also what Tracy used to tell me when I was building to gold as well. There's no problem that you'll ever have in your business that can't be solved by increased activity. So even if you feel that you're not where you want to be, or you might be struggling a little bit, just increase your activity, and more people in your business is going to boost your business. It is just all about the numbers. And this is what it was saying in the book too. Practice, practice, practice. And I really liked this saying when I saw it. And I think this was on like the first or second page. So success is a game. The more times you play, the more times you win. And the more times you win, the more successfully you'll play. So it is just about building up your confidence. And the only way you're going to do that is by getting stuck in and just doing it, just going for it. And that's it, I think. That's the end of my slides. Oh, I just wanted to say as well, I didn't expect it to go off then, actually. That was the first half of the book. The other half of the book is about body language. Alan Pease, who wrote the book, is the world's best known expert on body language, and he sold over 4 million copies in 33 different languages in some of his books. And the body language part, I found the first half of the book more interesting, but the second part is also really useful as well, especially if you're doing face-to-face appointments. And it gives you tips on how to pick up other people's body language, so you can kind of see what they're thinking. And the more, if you mirror somebody, it's easier for them to connect with you as well, because you're kind of being the same and doing the same. So there's loads of great hints and tips in there of just connecting with people to help you build a team. So that's it. Thanks for listening, everybody. And I'll pass you back to Tracy.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Monica. Everyone enjoy that. Absolutely brilliant book. Alan Pease is the absolute master on body language and people skills. And you know, this business is really, really simple. It's incredibly simple, but you do need to develop some of your skills, and there are so many books that you can read that will help you. We are a people business, and reading some books on people skills and communication is absolutely vital. And the one that Monica mentioned is one of my favourites too. So well done. It was great to hear your feedback on how that book's helped you, Monica. So thank you so much for sharing. So I'm going to touch on just a couple of slides with you guys, and then I'm actually going to share with you a training from a really successful distributorship in the team. I'm not going to train you personally on PSG is key tonight, because there's a fantastic training already available that I believe is going to give you so much information. So PSG, for those of you that are new, is your personal sales group. Okay, so it's you and your team. It's you and anyone that you introduce that has not yet become a gold distributor in their own right. So for lots of you starting out, you are right now building your personal sales group, your PSG, and it is absolutely key. Your PSG is your cradle. If you imagine you've got given birth to this baby called Clean Easy, and your PSG is your cradle, because it's out of that PSG that you are going to find your superstars. You are going to find your gold distributors. You are going to find your distributors that want to consistently retail. You're going to find those that want to be earning 300, 500, 1,000 pounds, 5,000 pounds, 10,000 pounds a month. Your PSG cradle is where all of that is going to happen. So it's vital as you start team building that we keep that PSG topped up, okay? What we don't want is to suffer from something called scarcity mentality. And that's what happens when we maybe only bring in one or maybe two people. And you can imagine you've got your first person in your team and you want to do everything for them, and you're telling them everything and you're taking them everywhere and you're absolutely overloading them with information because you want them to be successful and you want them to see what you see. And then what if they quit? What if they decide it's not for them and your whole world crumbles? What we need to do is to make sure you've got lots of people coming in all of the time. And we want to teach you how to build a really, really strong PSG, because that's where you're going to build your income. And I'm going to show you a couple of different examples in a moment. Now, the company recognise PSG, okay? It's the foundation that your skyscraper is going to be built on. And the company recognise what we call 10 active wide. Now, some of you that have been in the business a little while, you're familiar with that phrase, yeah? 10 active wide. Now, in order to be recognised for 10 active wide within the company, it requires you to have 10 frontline distributors. So that's 10 people that you've personally sponsored that are frontline to you. So if you imagine you're a clock face, a very nice one, and you've got numbers 1 to 10 all around your clock. And each of those distributors needs to place a minimum of £300 in orders every period for 3 consecutive periods. Now that is a strong foundation, okay? And if you do that, you get recognised as a 10 active wide distributor, and you get to go across the stage at the Birmingham ICC. You get a very jazzy certificate. There's mine and Harvey's. We got recognised 10 active wide last year. You get a fabulous, gorgeous pen set that gets sent out. It's very nice. But you get recognised. You get recognised as having a solid structure within your business, and it's that platform that you're going to build this amazing skyscraper with. So let me show you a couple of examples. Here's you. Let's say you're building up to gold distributor, and I want to show you 2 different gold distributor businesses. Now, a gold distributor is somebody who, them and their team, are turning over about £9,000 a period. So we've got lots of golds in our team. We've got Monica and Marcin, who are gold, and they've also got gold distributors that they've got golds underneath them. That gold has also got a gold underneath them. So they've got Michael and Kirsty. We've now got Emma Louise. We've also got Jude, who's one of our golds as well. So there's lots of gold distributors within the team and lots of you that are pushing for this. So it means in effect that they're doing over £9,000 of sales every period. Now imagine that you were doing £1,000 and you introduce 2 of your friends, or you introduce 2 people from adverts. You can see those 2 legs there. But then imagine instead of continuing to build frontline, you instead built underneath those 2 legs because you wanted to help them. So everyone that you recruited, you put under those 2 legs. Now, when you work out how much you earn from that, you're actually earning £360 off your own £1,000 in sales, and you're earning a gold distributor bonus on the rest of your business of £400. So you're only earning £760. Now, we teach as a gold distributor that you should be earning between £1,000 to £1,200 a month. So do you want to know how to do that? Who wants to know how to change a gold business from £760 to £1,200 a period? The way that we do that, guys, is building frontline PSG. This is a solid foundation of a gold distributor business. So this is for those of you that are not yet gold, and those of you that are gold that are building up higher. This is what your structure needs to look like. So there's you again doing £1,000, earning £360 off your own orders, and you've got 10 frontline distributorships here doing £1,000. Now the reality is that some are doing more, some are doing less, but you get the idea. And this is just 10 active wide. I'm going to introduce you to a guy in a moment who is 47 active wide. So this is just 10. Now each of those distributors are earning approximately £270, but your override on your team is £900. So your earnings is now 1,260. And the only difference, it's the same amount of people, it's the same amount of turnover. The only difference here is that you've built your business frontline wide. Now, what we do then is we show them and we work with those distributors, because out of those frontline 10, some of them, not all of them, some of them are going to want to do what you're doing. And they will get inspired by what you're doing. They'll get motivated by seeing what you're doing, the lead generation that you're doing, the catalogs that you're doing. They'll see what you're doing and they'll want to know how to copy you. And they too will build solid frontline businesses. And then as those legs start to shoot off and grow, that's where you get your long-term security. So we build wide for income, and then we teach those people how to build down in their own businesses and to build their own frontline PSG to get the security. Does that make sense to everyone? It's so key, so key that you understand this, so that you will build solid, secure, lifelong businesses that will give you massive freedom forever. So it's really important that you absolutely build wide. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come off and I'm going to play you a video, and I'm going to introduce you to a fantastic guy who we've known for many years in Clean Easy. Stuart and Robin have been in Clean Easy for around 12 years. They joined just before us. They are silver executives. So what that means is they built a gold business, and they've helped, if you look at this screen here, they've helped 3 of those legs, 3 of those individual distributorships to build to gold and above. Do you know how much they're earning now? The training I'm going to show you was from last year. Their highest check so far this year has been over £8,500. They're just silver execs. They've built to gold and they've got 3 gold legs. The reason they're earning that much money is because they are massively wide, and their team have followed and inspired and copied. Who wants to meet them? Who wants to know what they're doing and how they're doing that? Do you want me to play the video? It's about 20 minutes. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and I think you're all going to get loads from it. Yeah, excellent. Okay, give me just 1 second to get that up for you then.
Thank you, Michael. I hope you saved me a muffin back there. Right, who is going to have an incredible 2015? Yeah. Aren't we just? I mean, it really is going to be a game changer, this business now. And you've got to start, absolutely, as you mean to go on. You know, 2015 will be an amazing year. But like all of us, it all starts at the beginning. And I'm going to talk you through my story and how I started at the beginning. You know, what I love about this business is it is a ground floor opportunity. Nobody jumps in at the higher level. Everybody starts at the beginning. You see, 9 years ago, we needed £50 per week extra income, really just to keep a lifestyle up. You know, bills were rising, petrol prices were rocketing at the time, making it expensive to get to work, that there was nothing left at the end of the week for a beer out on a Friday night, and some people know I like a good beer, and a meal out on a Saturday night. Robin said, that's fine, we'll stay at home and watch X Factor, that new thing on telly. I said, not a bloody chance. And I went out and looked for some extra income. And that was obviously when I discovered Clean Easy. And I loved it because it was dead flexible and fitted around a demanding career. I'd looked at Clean Easy before, 3 years previously. But you know, the time wasn't right at that moment. But it was right when Mike and Jean was sat in my living room 9 years ago and presented the business. I got started. And as Jean will tell you, I wasn't necessarily the easiest person to coach. I had my own ideas and my own ways I wanted to do things. But she was very strong on making me realise that if I wanted to be successful, I had to duplicate what those successful people in the business were already doing. Robin quit after 3 weeks. She didn't see what I saw. She saw an immediate extra income and thought, you don't get wet sitting on a Tesco checkout. Why don't you do that instead? But you see, I knew that I wasn't going to earn over £20 an hour in Tesco's after building a customer base like you do in Clean Easy. You see, that bigger picture helped me to focus on the future and to employ myself. So I cracked on and got going with it. And in my first 4 weeks, I earned £211, which I was dead chuffed with. And that was our business from the start. And as you can see, we all start at the beginning. I got my head down, I built up my customer base, I began sponsoring in 2006, and we moved relatively quickly. So that Gold, by the end of 2006, left my job in the spring of 2007 and went full-time. Brilliant feeling to sack the boss. It's a really, really strong goal. But you see, I'd achieved my goal, and that's when it started sort of just ticking over. You know, comfortably earning £2 a month, but just ticking over. Hadn't set myself the next level goal when I'd left my job. But in 2010, something happened. This little man, and this is a photo that was taken, it's his first official school photo. You know, I can't believe how quick they grow, you know, but that happened, and that obviously changed our priorities. You know, kids have a habit of doing that, don't they? So by 2011, we had to see a change in the way we were running our Clean Easy business, primarily because at the end of maternity leave, Robin was made redundant, which meant that we now had one income, a Clean Easy income, coming in. You see, I'd plateaued in the business for 3 years, not setting and stretching myself goal-wise, comfortable with a £2,000 to £2,500 per period income. You know, that's a great Clean Easy income, and if that's your goal, go for it. But you know, I'd got there and stopped setting further goals. We know that you can have so much more than that out of this business, can't you? You know, but if you want a Clean Easy job, that's fine. It's better than working for a boss, unless you're married, of course. You see, I'd allowed frustration and some of the challenges that come along the way in this business to determine my work ethic and attitude. We all have challenges, but you know, sometimes we dwell on them, we let them dictate our work ethic and how we conduct our business, rather than actually getting over them. So I just plodded along, and then Robin joined. No more plodding along. £2,000 a month when we'd lost a 30 grand a year income of Robin's was not going to give us, you know, what we needed to exist. So we replanned the business activity and how we were doing things, or rather, Robin replanned it, you know, because she comes from a planning background. We looked at the pay plan and thought, right, how are we going to get our goal income, which was £3,500 to £4,000 per period, quickly? And we adopted from that a mantra, PSG is key. PSG stands for Personal Sales Group. We realised that that was the key foundation to not only a long-term business plan, but also an immediate income growth. And we realised that this business is all about numbers. Numbers of catalogues going out, numbers of prospects you're speaking to, and leads, and numbers of people that you're bringing into the team. It's all about numbers. So from 2011 onwards, we made a goal of putting out 10,000 recruitment flyers through letterboxes every single period. Did we achieve it? Not in your life, but you know what? Set yourself a really stretched goal, and what's the worst that can happen? You end up doing 8,000 flyers a period. You see, if we'd set a goal for 8,000 flyers a period, we probably would have only done 6,000, and those 2,000 flyers can make all the difference in results. Our goal was to bring in 6 new people a period into our team every single period, and we did that every single period from the day we made that decision to move the business forward. We increased all the rods in the pond, all the methods of lead generation we increased, even the ones that I didn't like doing, like 3-foot rules. Had to do them. The goal was to present the business to at least 20 people every single week, come rain or shine. And do you know what? That produced an equivalent of a gold business, £9,000 turnover, in our PSG. So we increased our PSG by 9 grand in just a 90-day period, which proved to me that those people who had said you can go gold in 90 days, when I'd first joined the business, were actually right, because I didn't believe that, you know, at the beginning. We were working smart, we were doing things much more effectively, and planning, you know, our days, planning by hour. And do you know what? When we were bringing lots of new people in, we were excited. Our existing team could see that. They got excited, and they started to duplicate what we were doing. So our business was growing on all fronts by that time. You see, where you lead, your team will follow. So if you're feeling frustrated with your team right now, you know what? Don't worry about it. Concentrate on what you need to do, and down the line, some of your team will follow you. And you know what? When you've got lots of people and lots of numbers, you're not reliant on any one individual. You know, you've got true freedom in terms of recruiting, because you're not clinging on the hope that someone will do something in your team. You've got a lot of people doing lots of different things. That's our highest check to date, £7,795. And that was done by turnover in period 10 of 2013 of 113,500. We retail strong. I believe in leading from the front, £2,620. But crucially, PSG, this is a bronze executive check by the way, PSG of £43,000. 35 people active wide on my front line. One of those is a bronze exec, the other one is a gold leg, who's now a bronze exec in 2014, but crucially they both have big PSGs of their own, so they all get a healthy income check at the end of each period. Duplication on all fronts. So who wants to hear some tips on how to get more effective with sponsoring? Yeah? Okay. We'll start with a presentation, because obviously when you're speaking to prospects, the first thing you're going to do is have a conversation with them. So you have a bit of a chit-chat. Not about Coronation Street or EastEnders, but about what it is that they're looking for. Find their motivation. Why have they replied and inquired to your advert? You know, by doing so, you're in a strong position then to be able to guide them to what it is. You know, okay, John, so what are you looking for? Right, £50 a week, great. Why is £50 a week so important to you? So you can take your family on holiday to Florida. Brilliant. That helps you then guide that person to their trip in Florida. And if they're having some challenges, you can say, hey, John, we'll get you back on track. You'll get that trip in Florida. It turns them on, it gets them emotional, and it makes your job as a coach, when you are coaching them down the line, so much easier. It also makes your job easier when you're prospecting them. Use strong, assertive, confident language. Not you might earn this, or you can earn this, but more like, if you follow the training that I will provide you, you will achieve this. You know, make them feel safe and secure in the knowledge that if they join you, you are going to be able to provide their future for them with your coaching, training and support. Tonality is dead important too. There's nothing worse than speaking like this, is there really? It gets very boring after a while. You know, the point is, adapt your voice to the person that you're speaking to. You know, go up when you get excited and get a bit softer, you know, on the more delicate matters within the prospect and the subject that you're talking about. Keep them interested with your voice. Take control. You know, it's very easy for prospects when they're talking to you to take the conversation over and take you off track completely. You know, understand that you want to start here and present the business so you get over there, and that's the close at the end. And yes, you might divert slightly off the line as you're going there, but make sure you're driving in that general direction. Very important to keep control. Keep it simple. Work to the lowest common denominator. You know, this business, we know how simple this business is, but I've seen and I've heard people do it before. We start explaining the business and, you know, go overboard with it. I certainly did at the beginning. I used to take an hour to explain how Clean Easy worked because I was so excited. Oh, but you can qualify for this and you'll get that and this trip and wow, and there's the cars, and people come out of that and think, oh my God, that sounds really complicated. So just keep it simple. Don't need to talk about reminder slips and all that at that stage. You know, just keep it simple. And always, always sell the benefits first. Don't run in and say, oh, have you got 160 quid to join? It's only £25 first instalment, because you put them off straight away. Make sure that you've explained how they can get that trip to Florida, and then talk to them about the investment, because then they won't see the cost. They will see, hey, I can turn 25 quid into £250 in my first 4 weeks. And of course you're going to get objections. You know, you're always going to get some people who will throw curveballs at you, you know, in the conversation. Such as, how do I know if there's anybody else in my area? Who's had that? Yeah? Who has other Clean Easy distributors in their area? 85% of you at least. For those that are new, look round. These are the people earning money that are sitting here right now in Clean Easy. The point is, it doesn't matter. People have different buying days. People buy from different people they like, and if you give them good and regular and reliable service, they will stay fiercely loyal to you. Don't need to explain any more than that. The myth is saturation. It's such a myth. If they get rid of lazy-itis, then maybe there'll be saturation. What if they don't put the catalogues outside the next day? People say that all the time. Well, we have a system that ensures that if you follow it, over 90% of the catalogues that you go out will be returned. And you know what? The company have some great incentives to help you replenish those when you start putting regular orders on the system. Simple as that. Is leaving catalogues 1 or 2 days long enough? You know, the longer you leave them, the more they get lost. And people are impulsive by nature. They will see something and either look at it now or not at all. That's what we found in the business. So leaving them 24, 48 hours is plenty of time. Isn't going round to the same houses once a month perhaps a little too often? No. There are products in the catalogue designed to last 28 days. The consumable cleaning products, for example, are a good example of it. And the fact is that people want to see you regularly because they remember who you are. If you leave it too long, they will forget your name. They won't remember who you are. And isn't going around to the same old houses 6 times or more, you know, isn't that too much? If they don't buy after the first time, surely you drop them off? Well, it depends on the system that you're following from your successful upline, but the point is, people like to get to know you as regular and reliable first in many cases. My best customer did not buy until the 5th month on an area, and it was only a £5 order. She now spends between £60 and £70 with me every single month. Now, if I'd given up after 3 times and thought she's never going to buy, I wouldn't have her as a customer. And then, of course, there's this one. Aren't the products expensive compared to the shops? Sure, some of you have had that, because I have. And do you know what? Do the pound shops do free home delivery with a big smile on their face? You know, the fact of the matter is that, yeah, some of the products are more expensive in the Clean Easy catalogue. Some of them are cheaper. You know, some of the health and beauty range, I've compared to prices in Boots, for example. They've worked out cheaper. The fact of the matter is that, you know, you give a good service and you provide regular, reliable service to your customers, and they will stay loyal to you regardless, you know. And if you look at Tesco's and you look at Sainsbury's and all the 4 main supermarkets, they're all charging slightly different prices for all their products. Do people really go to every one of the 4 supermarkets to buy different things to save some money? They just buy all in one of them. So, what about when you get to the end? You've presented the opportunity, and now it's over to the prospect to join. One of the biggest and most common ones you'll get is, I haven't got the money. Now, that often is one of 2 things. Either, I'm really not that interested, so it's an excuse, or, tell me more, I've got queries and questions, I haven't yet seen the value of investing £25 to get started. Because that's all it is. Everybody has 25 quid. So dig deep, ask questions. Is there a, you know, what is it that you're not sure about? Or this one, I think I'll look for a proper job. Poor buggers, a proper job. What, when they tell you when you can go wee, at what time, and when you can have your lunch? Do you know, for some people that suits them. And I'm not going to criticise people for having a proper job. But the fact is that means they haven't understood the nature of the business. And if they've come to you, and when you've discussed it with them at the beginning, why are they looking for this opportunity? Because they want flexible hours. Then you can explain to them, well, hey, jobs don't give you flexible hours very often. Or, I don't have the time. Again, when you start chit-chat with the prospect, find out how many hours a week they've got available. And if they say they haven't got the time, well, you had 10 hours free a week a minute ago. People don't buy round here. Do you know, the beauty of the United Kingdom is that within a 3-mile zone, you have affluent areas, council estates, and everywhere in between. We all have the same type of demographics in most parts of the UK. People buy everywhere. There is no target audience. What about binned catalogues or rude people? Do you know, if you worked in a shop and you came across a rude person, you couldn't turn around to your boss and say, Mrs. Smith comes in at 10 a.m. every Tuesday morning and she's rude to me, I don't want to serve her. Your boss would turn around and say, well, I'm sorry, I pay you to serve her. Whereas here, you can cross the house off your list and not have to deal with them again. That's the beauty of this business. You're in control. You choose. Bins catalogues, you don't give them another chance. And if you go out and get more sales, you'll get free catalogues off the company. What if I don't get any orders? You know what? The national average, 1 in 10 buy it, £10 a go is there for a reason. Yeah, not everyone gets it immediately. I didn't. But you know what? Overall, after over a few weeks and months, it all averages itself out in the end. So you'll get orders if you follow my training and coaching. I don't agree with buying the catalogues. You know what? That job that you're looking for in town is going to cost you £2 on the bus to get there and £2 to get back. That's £4 a day, 20 quid a week, £80 a month before you've even been paid at the end of the month. So you're paying the bus fare to get to work. Not £80 with Clean Easy, it's £25 to get started, so we can save you money by starting with Clean Easy. How about that? So we're getting around it. So, top tips. We all talk about SED in this business. Dream SED, Senior Executive Distributor, 5 gold legs wide or more. Do you know, that is the place to be. That's going to give you a phenomenal residual income. The only way you'll get there, though, is working your PSG. Got to find lots and lots and lots and lots more people to get there. Don't look for your next gold leg. Don't think, oh, Harry, he's going to be my next gold leg, because he might not be. You know, they will find themselves. Just find lots of people, teach them how to get going, and when they put their hands up and say, I want a bit more out of the business, teach them a bit more. And they'll go when they're ready. And you keep finding more people. And to do that, you double the numbers. If you're not happy with what results you're getting on your sponsoring activity, do more. There are no magic rods in this business. People often say to me, what's the magic recruitment method? Do you know what? There isn't one. Just lots and lots and lots and lots of everyone. Do them all. Just numbers. Find the time. Steal it. You know, Robin will get straight onto business the minute that he's one next week actually. The minute that Matthew gets his head down for an hour, mid-morning, Robin's on the laptop, on the business. You know, she steals the time whenever she can, and that's what you have to do. If you're working jobs or you've got family, just find the time. Make it a priority. You know, if you're a soap fan, turn your catalogues while you're watching the soaps. You know, there are ways and means of working this business. Understand that the best way to get good at it is to do it and do it big. You know, when you do this business in volume, you become an expert at it. So everything becomes easier because you become better. Consistency. If you can't do it full-time like I am, and many can't, I couldn't for the first 18 months, remember, just do what you do consistently, every week, and keep to it. The skills, the development, and the income will follow on. You know, you'll get the skills, you'll develop your business and yourself, and the income will catch up and pay you for the effort you've put in, and then some. So these are just some of the few things that the business has given us. You know, a new house. We lived in a 3-bed semi when I started Clean Easy. We've now got a bigger house. Robin's raided the bank account and bought herself a cash car. You know, cash, we could do that brand new. You know, I'm still waiting for my car. She told me I could have it next year. It's been a goal of mine to go to New York since I was that high, to be honest with you, watching all the old 80s films in New York, you know, and we got a chance to do that in 2011, clean easy style at the Waldorf Astoria. Then, of course, there's the picture of up there of the world's largest sailing yacht, you know, around the Caribbean. There were more crew members on that boat than Clean Easy distributors. How wicked and mad was that? It was a drunken fest, if I remember. Then there's Dubai. You know, we've been to Dubai twice on Clean Easy, and the first time was that view there out of the room with the swimming pool at the bottom right. I mean, just an amazing, decadent destination. So what has Clean Easy given us? Well, a stable £5,000 to £6,000 per period income in 2014, whether we've worked or not. Naturally, we've had a bit of time off this year. We've got a new baby, and whether I worked or I didn't work, our cheque was the same. That is a level of financial freedom, because you still get paid on the work you did before, whether you're still working or not. We can work it around our family. You know, just a few weeks ago I was at my 4-year-old's nativity Christmas thing. First one I've been to, of course. That was magic. I didn't have to ask a boss to take time off. I just dropped down tools for a couple of hours and went to the school. It was great. We've been on 8. Well, Michael Cathcart phoned us up just before Christmas and now told us we're going on our 9th to Jamaica. Destinations, clean easy trips worth £90,000 because they do it in style. The ability to help others achieve, you know, nothing more of a warm fuzzy feeling than helping people achieve their goals or helping them out of a financial predicament that they might be in. That is really important to me. It's given us a bigger house for the family. The ability now that we have that duplication in our team is that we can take time out and go to our villa in Spain or apartment in Spain or have time off with the family because our business is still growing without us as well as with us. And as I said, our brand new Spanish apartment that we bought for each other at Christmas last year, we decided to do that. The ability to set goals is something that is alien and quite difficult for many people who are in the job world. The goal that you get is the one the boss sets to you. And the only one that people generally have for themselves is where they're going on their summer holiday. You know, you can have such big lifestyle, personal goals. It doesn't have to be financial ones either. Personal development is incredible. You know, you're not the person as you go down the journey in this business that you were when you first started the journey. I'm not, and many of my team I've seen flourish as people themselves, which again is a great personal satisfaction of mine. And other things that we've done, you know, swimming with dolphins, one of Robin's big goals. Our 2 pictures at the bottom there, this is the Spanish apartment that we've got. You know, that again has been a big dream goal of owning a place in the sun. And we can also go off to Cape Town, South Africa, where Robin's originally from, and go and visit her family as and when we choose. And now with the internet selling, I can sit on a computer 6,000 miles away and still make retail sales. I mean, how brilliant is that? You know, this is why I do it. This is why I work hard. For my family, to give them in life what I feel is worthy for them. You know, I want to help give my kids the best start in life. Which parent doesn't? You know, and that's why I do what I do. So, 2015, guys, will be amazing. It really will be, with or without you. Make sure it's with you. But how you start when you leave this conference hall today determines where you end up and how big a 2015 year you're going to have. So start, guys, as you mean to go on. I hope that helped, guys.
Hey everybody, so what did we think to that? Did we enjoy? Did you write loads of notes? Did you get loads of inspiration? Stuart and Robin have an absolutely fantastic business. We've been all over the world with them. Normal mum and dad. Okay, so loads and loads of info for you there. I know we've run over, but I really, really, really wanted you to see that video, so that you know you can get massive focus on building your PSG. So here's some homework for you. Have a look at your business right now, especially those of you that have been in the business for a while. How wide are you currently? Now, I don't mean go get your tape measure out and put it around your waist. None of us want to know how wide we are in that sense, okay? But I do mean have a look at your business right now and how active wide are you, okay? And out of all of you, I'm going to set you a challenge now, who is going to be the first person out of the shooting stars, obviously aside from Harvey and I, because we've already done it, who's going to be the next person who is going to get recognised on that company stage for company 10 active wide? Who would like to set that as a goal? To be going across the stage to get there so that you can go, because there isn't enough time to do that now for the August one, because you've got to hold it for 3 months. But how about making it a goal to get there as soon as you can, so that in January you can get recognised on the Clean Easy stage for 10 active wide? Just imagine what that will do to your business and do to your income. So who's up for that? I can't wait to see who's going to walk across that stage. So here's a challenge for you for period 8. You've got all the stuff that's going on with Clean Easy, with Beat Your Best and all that kind of stuff going on. So on top of that, we are setting you a sponsoring challenge. We want to see who is going to be period 8's top sponsorer. Now, I am in the challenge too. Harvey and I are in it too. We are going to sponsor as many people as we can. Now, we've got a personal goal of sponsoring 12 new team members this period. So who else has got a goal? Now, I know some more of you have got that because I've been talking to some of you on Zoom today. So who else has got a goal? Now, that's what I'm aiming for. I miss my sponsoring targets all the time. But you know what? If I set a sponsoring target for 5, I'd miss that as well. So I don't mind failing when my goals are really, really big, because you're still going to be further on than what you are, and it's all part of success. So I challenge all of us, the whole Shooting Stars team, to see who can sponsor the most people this period, and there will be a prize. There'll be a night out on us, whether you want a dinner voucher to go out to dinner, or whether you want to have a couple of cinema tickets. There is a night out on us for whoever, but that might be me, so you might all have to buy me dinner if I win. Yeah, you'll all have to chip in a quid each. Whoever wins the sponsoring challenge gets a night out on us. Okay, who's up for it? I'm going to put it in the team group, so it's there for you. Now, we're already half of the way through week 1, so you've got to get a move on and sponsor some people. So there is your sponsoring challenge. So have you all seen the video that I shared in the team group from Gavin? There was a brilliant live video. I shared it in the team group. Dimpner, nice restaurants in Aberdeen. You can get a taxi to Aberdeen yourself and I'll pay for your starter. Unless you sponsor 20 people, and then I'll pay for a main course as well. There's a video from Gavin Scott in the team group where he talks about loads of different lead generation activities. Okay, who's scribbling on the screen? Someone's excited. And there is a activity tracker sheet that you can download as well. Okay, it's all in the team group, so have a look for that. Loads of you have been tagged in on there. On that activity tracker are loads of different lead generation ways. So what I would advise you all to do is to get it, do exactly what Kalpana's just done and print it out and identify which activities you want to do. You know, if some of your team are close to you, go out in groups and flyer a housing estate. Go out and put shop ads out. Go out and put business cards out. Don't just sit on Facebook. Do that when you can't be out doing all the other stuff. Don't just sit on Facebook. There are loads of different ways to generate leads. And if you haven't yet been onto Bid's web shop, this is where we get all our business cards, our flyers. This is where we get all of our materials from. Loads of personal development books and day slips. If you've not been on there, jot down that website really, really quickly before I flick over, and get on there and have a look at the things that you need for your business. Make sure you've got cards, flyers and all that kind of stuff on you. So just to finish off, because I know we've gone loads over, tomorrow night we are in Long Eaton. So those of you that are within a couple of hours of us, get in your car and get along to the recruitment night. Bring some people with you. If you're driving, fill your car up with guests, because they're going to get shown the business. They're going to get shown how the money's made. They can ask any questions and have a look and see if the business is a good fit for them. We've got an awesome guest speaker. Fiona is earning well over £4,000 a month part-time. Her and Jeff have got a brilliant business, so you need to hear from Fiona. You need to hear their story and get all her hints and tips as well. So if you live within an hour of this event, no excuses, okay? If you want to build your business, these events are a key part of that. So fill your cars up and get as many people along tomorrow night as you can. All the details are on the event post. These are the up and coming 10-step workshops. So again, guys, these are absolutely key. You will not build a big business without attending these events. If you're local to Birmingham, Essex, Yorkshire or Scotland, Harvey and I run one in Bristol. You've got events up and down the country. Whichever is your nearest, get along to it, because they are absolutely key and you're going to get loads of information there on how to build your business. Birmingham one is in Dorridge. It's in Dorridge, Solihull. Thank you, Kalpana. It's all available on the website. So speak to your sponsor and find out how to get booked in. And the event of the year, who is booked in for the showcase? Me. It's going to be absolutely flipping awesome. Now, if you haven't been to one before, then your event is completely free. You need to book your ticket. So you need to ring HQ and order your day ticket. Now, you can book and pay for a gala dinner ticket as well. There's loads of us that are making a whole weekend of it. We're staying over and we've all got hotels booked, and we're going to make an absolutely fantastic weekend of it. So do get along. Danielle, yes, you need to come. Get along to the showcase. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. You need to be there. There's going to be thousands of us there at the showcase. I'm going to leave that one up because I'm going to finish. Massive thank you to Monica for coming on and sharing her book review tonight. Thanks, Monica. And a massive well done to all of you for staying on tonight. I know we've stayed on a little bit later. I have got a video to play for those of you that want to give it another 10 minutes. I've got another little gym rowing video that I'm going to play out. I shared it in our team builders group today. It's a fantastic video from Jim Rowan about sowing the seeds, and it's really vital if you are team building to understand that different people are going to come and go, and it's a great video. If you've got another 10 minutes, do stay on and have a watch. I look forward to seeing loads of you tomorrow night in Long Eaton, and I can't wait to see all the people that are going to join the team. So let's smash it. Let's build massive PSGs and just see everyone's incomes grow. Thanks, guys. I'll see you all soon.
Forever in network marketing. I learned the law of sowing and reaping. And in the law of sowing and reaping is also the story of the law of averages. Jot this down. The story of the sower comes from the Bible. I'm an amateur on the Bible, but this is such a useful story. Here's what the story says. And take the notes, because the drama's in the details. The sower was ambitious. Evidently he was ambitious. When you read the whole story, you'll conclude, yes, this was an ambitious sower. Here was number 2. He had excellent seed. The sower who sowed the seed had excellent seed. And the excellent seed can be an excellent opportunity, an excellent product, an excellent story. So we've got an ambitious sower with excellent seed. But now here's the rest of the details of the story. For your information, for the drama of your life, so you can understand things better. Learning some of this is how I got rich by age 31. Okay. Number one, it says the sower goes out to sow the seed, but the first part of the seed falls by the wayside and the birds get it. So jot this down. The birds are going to get some of the seed. The birds are going to get some of the seed. Now you say, well, Mr. Arnold, what does that mean? Well, I invite John to come to a meeting. He said he'd be there Tuesday night. Tuesday night I show up, John isn't there. I say, John, I wonder why John didn't make it. Now I know the answer. The birds. The birds. John had this great idea of coming to the meeting to look at an opportunity, and somebody stole it and said, you're not going to go see network marketing. And he says, well, maybe not. So have you jotted that down now? The birds are going to get some. Now, when the birds get some, you've got two options. Number one is to chase birds. And say, well, let me get a hold of the person that talked him out of coming to the meeting. I'll tear him a new page. But I wouldn't do this. Here's what happens if you go chasing birds. You leave the field. If you go chasing birds now, you leave the field, which is going to distract from your future, not add. So you can't chase birds and try to straighten this stuff out. Here's what it is. It's just one of those things. And here's the best comment when things are a little disappointing. Isn't that interesting? You just have to say, I thought sure he would be there. He promised me. He promised me. But I know it was the birds. And you just have to say, isn't that interesting? Now, here's the rest of the story. It says, the sower kept on sowing. See, that was the secret to his success. He kept on sowing. And if you keep sowing, you can sow more than the birds can get because there aren't enough birds. If you keep sowing, there are some birds, but there's not enough. Because the law of averages will work for you. My mentor taught me, he said, you know, Mr. Owen, there's only 9 or 10 real nasty, miserable people in the whole world. Now, he says they move around a lot, you know, and you're liable to... You'll bump into one once in a while. But when you bump into one, you say, there's only 9 more like you. I can handle that in the whole world. Okay. Now, here's what else it says. The sower now keeps sowing the seed. Now the seed falls, the story says, on rocky ground where the soil is shallow. And the rocky ground where the soil is shallow is not of your making. Because you had excellent seed and you were an ambitious sower. So the rocky ground where the soil is shallow is not of your making. But here's what it says what happened. This time, the little seed that falls in the ground starts to grow, and the little plant starts to grow. But the first hot day, it withers and dies. It dies. Not an easy thing to watch. I finally get John started. Sure enough, 3 or 4 days later, somebody says, boo, and he goes, he's gone. Doesn't show up at the second meeting. And I say, I thought sure John would last a week. What happened? Jot this down. The hot weather is going to get some. And this is not of your making. Here's what you must say when that happens. Isn't that interesting? Wow. What can you do? The answer is nothing. You say, well, I'm going to try to change this. I wouldn't take that class. You know, the sun comes up in the east. Somebody says, why is that? I wouldn't spend much time on that. Just let that happen. Don't go for this why stuff. I'm giving you the answers here. The answers is in the structure and the consequences and in the deal. The answer is in the deal. Anything beyond that is not worth study. You say, well, how come some just last a little while? I wouldn't sign up for that class. Here's the answer. Some don't stay. You just have to jot that down. And when some leaves, you say, that's one of those that don't stay. Now you know what category to put them in. And you can't solve this now. You can't. It's like rearranging the seasons. You can't fool with that. All you can do is cooperate with the way things are set up. I didn't set it up. You say, well, it shouldn't be this way. Well, when you get your own planet, you can rearrange this whole deal. But on this planet, you're a guest. You got to take it as it comes. Now, here was the secret to the ambitious sower with good seed. It said he kept on sowing. Now, here's what he had to do to keep on sowing. He had to discipline his disappointment. This is a key phrase now to use the rest of your life. You must learn to discipline your disappointment, because you didn't set up the setup, and some are not going to stay, and that is not of your making. Now, if you made gross errors and you ran them off, see, that'd be different. Now, you're responsible for that. But if it's in the normal course of things, this is the way things are. Now, here's what it says. The sower keeps on sowing. Now it says the seed falls on thorny ground. And somebody says, well, how much of this do you have to go through? Well, hang on. It's not the end of the story now. Now the little seed falls on thorny ground. And now the little plant starts to grow again. But as the little plant starts to grow, the thorns choke it to death. And it dies. So jot this down. The thorns are going to get some. And that's not of your making. And what are these thorns? The story even called these little thorns, little cares, little distractions, little somethings. Who knows what all they are? I say, John, we had a meeting last night, you weren't here. John says, well, I can't make every meeting. I say, why not? You're part-time. He said, well, the screen door came off the hinges. And you just can't let your house fall apart. You got to take some time and fix things up. And I can hear the thorns going, He says some extra trash had piled up in the garage. You can't let mountains of trash take over. You got to keep your trash hauled out. People who let little things cheat them out of big opportunities. People who let little things cheat them out of big opportunities. And you feel almost helpless. What could I do about that? And that's nothing. And you say, well, why is this? I'm asking you not to sign up for that class. Don't sign up for these why is this class. It's just the way it is. Like winter following fall and spring following winter. So if you got that, the thorns are going to get some. But now here's the good news. Let's read the rest of the story now quickly. The sower now what? Keeps on sowing the seed, keeps on sharing the story, keeps on giving an invitation. Yes, the invitation can be more powerful for me as it was 1 year later than it was the first month. Because now I'm saying I'm making twice as much money part-time as I'm making on my full-time job. Yes, the story can be more powerful, but the law of average is still going to work. But now here's what the story said. Finally, the seed falls on good ground. Finally, the seed falls on good ground. Now put this in parentheses. It always will. If you keep sowing. If you share a good idea long enough, it will fall on good people. But now here's the rest of that story. Some of the good ground did 30%. And some of the good ground did 60%. And some of the good ground did 100%. You say, well, why the difference in numbers? I wouldn't sign up for that class. Come on. Have I said that often enough now? Don't register for that class. It's just the way it is. Now, I tried to get the 30s to do 60. Found out it was more than I could handle. I used to say, I'll make them successful if it kills me. I almost died. No, you can't do that. Here's what you do. Let the 30s do 30 to the best of their ability and keep doing 30, because that's how they build their lifestyle and get what they want out of life. And let the 60s do 60, and let the 100s do 100s. Now, how can you get some to do 100%? You got to go through all these experiences, and you got to talk to all these people.
Hey guys, just coming back on to say goodnight. I hope you enjoyed that little video. That's absolutely one of my favourites. I know that's a favourite of Danielle's as well, looking at the message thread. Kalpana, I was laughing all the way through watching you watch the video, so thank you for keeping me amused. So thanks guys for staying on. What you've just heard is so key. so key with building your team, with building a big PSG. You are going to come across those people who at the first sign of anything, somebody saying boo, putting their catalogues together or anything, will just wilt away. But if you keep on sowing, if you keep on generating the leads, if you keep on doing the calls and you keep on finding your customers, you will find those people that want to do what you do. I promise you. We found all of you, didn't we? And all we've done is all the things that we teach you. So I'll send the little video link. I'll post that up separately in the team group so you can listen to that again. It's definitely one of my favorites. So thank you all so much for staying on with me tonight, and thanks to everyone. It certainly is interesting, Angie. Do you know, Harvey and I use that phrase all the time. The times we say to each other, isn't that interesting? It does make a big difference, and look forward to seeing loads of you tomorrow night. I know quite a lot of you are coming, so we'll see you all there. And take care, guys. See you soon. Bye.